Hello, everyone. My name is Stacey Whited, and I'm an executive director with Market America, and I'm so excited to be doing this conference call with an up-and-coming leader. I can't believe how fast she's growing and doing such an incredible job as an unfranchised owner here in the Houston area. She and her husband are building it together and doing such an incredible job. So we just wanted to do a quick conference call on the explosive growth that she's had, as well as building her unfranchised with her sponsor being out of state. So let me introduce our special guest on our conference call, Kelley Kramer.
Hi. Thank you for the introduction, Stacey.
Yes, I'm so excited that you're on the phone, and I just wanted to see if you could just share some of your story. How were you introduced to Market America, and just kind of fill us in on your journey that you've had thus far with your unfranchised business.
Yeah, definitely. So it was actually back in September. My husband and I were at a family reunion in Ohio, and my sister-in-law, Kendra, mentioned that she had heard about this thing called Market America, and she was kind of trying to explain it to us, and she was saying how excited she was, and we were just like, okay, like, we love Kendra. She is awesome, but she's kind of like one of the, people in the family who will just do anything. And so we're like, okay, we'll see how you do with this, Kendra. Like, get back to us in a few months, and we'll see if this is really, the real deal, or if it's just one of those things, as we all think. And so we got back to Texas, and a few weeks later, Kendra called us and was like, hey, one of my mentors from the area, Colton Whitehead, is going to be visiting the Woodlands, Texas, and he would love to have lunch with us and just tell us more about Market America. And I was very reluctant. I was like, okay, like, this guy's going to pitch us this thing and, whatever. But Matt was like, oh, I'll go hear anything. And so Matt actually set up the lunch, and we met with Colton and Michaela, and then David and Stacey Whitehead. And we had no idea how awesome we were just kind of like, okay, like, we'll go hear their pitch. And I'm just going to give you my point of view, because Matt could tell you his point of view. But my point of view was, we went to this lunch, and they started talking about all this random stuff, and I didn't get any of it. They mentioned something about legs, and then something about, I remember David mentioning something about if we knew how to write a Harry Potter book, we should write a Harry Potter book, but if we don't know how to do that, we should do this. And I was just like, what? Like, why? What? Like, I totally did not get it, was completely turned off. And so we left the lunch, and we're driving back to where we work. My husband and I both work at Woodlands Church, and so we were driving back to work. And we get in the car, and Matt turns to me, and he's like, well, what'd you think? And I was like, what do you mean, what did I think? Like, no, like, I don't know what they were even talking about. Like, I don't think this is for us. And then I asked him, I was like, what do you think? And he's like, we have to do this. And I was like, what? Like, was I in the same conversation? Like, did I hear the same things you heard? Like, I just couldn't understand why he was so interested in this. And so we kind of talked a little bit more, and I was like, well, we'll see how Kendra does, but I'm not sold yet. Like, and a little bit more backstory, I was actually up for a promotion at my job, and so I was getting ready to hopefully move into a new position. And I was like, there's no way we're going to have time with Matt doing full-time school, working full-time, and me getting a new job to even consider doing something else on the side. And so we ended up, kind of leaving it at that. But then a few days later, Colton texted Matt the video, the famous 22-minute video. And Matt watched it while I was cooking dinner one night, and he kept, like, pausing it and being like, Kelley, did you hear that? Or did you get that? And I'm like, no. Like, I don't get this. Like, like, something about legs and something about BV and IBV, and all I could see was that these people supposedly can make a lot of money. And I'm just like, okay, like, I can't do that, though. Like, I don't understand it. There's no way I could ever build a business. I did not believe in myself at all to be able to build something like this, because I'm not business-minded. So he watched the video, and he was even more excited, and I was just more turned off. And then, like, a week or so later, Colton texted Matt and was like, hey, there's going to be a home business presentation in your area on Tuesday night, and we would love for you guys to go and, meet other business owners and just, keep evaluating and see if this is for you. Well, Tuesday nights was when Matt was in school, and so I immediately was like, no, I am not going by myself, because I know me, I'm gullible, and I'll end up signing up for something, and I'm not going by myself. Well, Matt calmed me down and was like, no, it's going to be okay. Sign up for anything. Just go and see if you understand it. Just go. You never know. And looking back, I know that it was totally the Lord, revealing to him the opportunity that I couldn't see yet. And so finally I said I would go, and Matt texted Colton for the address, and then Colton was like, actually my parents want to pick you up. And I was like, no, I am not going to have them come pick me up. I'm not going to ride in the car with these strangers all the way out to Nowhereville. What if they do something? I didn't know. All these things are going on in my mind of what could happen, and I'd be trapped in this car with them. And so Matt calmed me down again and was like, it's okay. That's them. It's like strangers. They seemed really nice. It'll be okay. And so David and Stacey came and picked me up, and now I understand why they picked me up, because it's true. If they wouldn't have come and picked me up, I would have never actually driven to that first home business presentation. And I truly do see that in our business now, is make it a point to try if they will let us to pick up people to bring to any presentation or any event, because it's true. You have a 100% chance of them showing up if you pick them up.
That's right.
And so, so they drove me. They were super nice and asked me all these questions, and I'm just like, okay. And then we pull up to Brandy and Tom's house, and I was blown away. I was like, what are we doing at this $1 million mansion? And then we walk in, and Brandy's her awesome, excitable self, and I'm just like, what is going on? And Brandy and Tom did a great job presenting the plan again, which after seeing it, now this is the third or fourth time I've seen it, I kind of started making sense. But for me, that night, I realized the hope in the room. I realized, I realized that this is what I was looking for, and this is what I had been praying for. What I didn't mention was, the week before, I had found out that I was not going to get the promotion at my job, and that I wasn't going to get to move into the ministry I thought the Lord was preparing me for, and I was devastated. And I was like, God, what are you doing? I have been preparing for this for almost a year, to be moved into this new position, to be a small groups director and be able to disciple and do all these different things, and then it ended. And I know that for me, walking into that house that night, I saw that that's what the Lord had been leading me to. And he needed me to actually physically be in the room with others to see that this was more than just a business opportunity. This was a life transformation opportunity for me and for all those who we get to minister to now through our business. And so, lo and behold, we ended up starting our own franchise 2 days later, and I had no idea what I was going to do, but we just did it. So that's our story of how we heard about Market America and then got started with Market America.
Kelley,
so what do you want me to say next, Stacey?
Yeah, that is such an incredible story. So you had Kendra that sponsored you, and she was, out in Redding, California. How then, so you started your business, when was that? Was it October of 2016?
It was September 29th. So September 29th of 2016.
Okay. And so started your business then, and then tell us, how did you build from there? Because now you've obviously had a great success. You've earned $1,500 from Market America.
Yeah.
After $5,000. So how did you build it with your sponsor being out of state?
Okay. Well, thankfully, actually, Kendra had started her business the week before we did. It took her a little bit to get started because of money and stuff. And so when she got started and we got started basically at the same time, I almost knew instantly that I couldn't rely upon her to teach me. And so I was going to have to either find other people to teach me or teach myself. Thankfully, YouTube is awesome. I watch probably every single YouTube that Market America has ever done. And it was overwhelming, though. I realized that in the first week, I overwhelmed myself with so much knowledge. But one thing that almost every single YouTube would talk about is be at the events. If there's an event in your area, be at the events, whether it's a UVP, an HVP, like any type of training, be at the events. And so I want to say it was a couple weeks after we started, there was the district conference in Dallas. And I told Matt, I was like, I have to go. Like, I knew he couldn't go because of work, but I had to go. And so I went to the district conference in Dallas and met a lot of people and just kind of started to grasp the fact that it's the systemization of Market America, that if you do the checklist, if you do these simple steps, you will succeed, and if you're at the events. And so I just started trying to get a 40 every week on our checklist, which was scary for me. I battled with a lot of voices, because when I would, want to go and talk to someone about a product, or I'd want to go talk to someone about the business, I would always have that little voice in the back of my mind that's like, well, they're going to think you're manipulating them, or they're going to think that you're just in this because you'll make money, or they're going to think this, or they're going to think that. And I really had to just continually speak life over that and just being like, no, this is an opportunity that people are praying for. And it was very hard. I mean, it still is hard. It's still something I'm working on when we are presenting the plan to people, or when we are, someone does say something like about an acre of paint. It's like, oh, I have a product for that, or like, oh, I might have a solution for that. And so just trying to just be bold in the little things daily, and then just any time I could bring someone or have someone at an event, at a UVP, at a home business presentation, I brought them with me, and I realized that at World Conference really how important that is to solidify the leverage and the residual income in your business, because if I wasn't bringing people with me, I would have to train them on my own time. And that really started to make sense to me when I was at World Conference, actually. But yeah, so we made a point every single week to try to get a 40. It was really difficult during the holidays. We actually could have built our business a lot faster if it weren't for the holidays. Now looking back on it, because we weren't very faithful during the holidays with our checklist. We were very faithful about making sure we listen to audios and making sure we're reading and building up ourselves, but not so much the result producing activities. And so once we got my parents started their own franchise. That was a huge help, because oh my gosh, my mom is the most motivated person in the world. And so just surrounding ourselves with motivated people in the business and finding those people who this is an answer to prayer for. Looking back, I'm so grateful that several of the people we talked to about the business decided not to do the business, because I know we would have had to have been literally carrying them, like David always says. And so when we're presenting to different people now, we do look for very specific things. We're looking for, just like what you said, Stacy, at Leadership Academy a couple weeks ago, we look for fun people we want to, we enjoy being around. We look for ambitious people who we know if we give them a task, they will do it to the nth degree. They will continue it on. And that's my parents. That's Troy and Amy Poinbuff, who are our other partners. They are so good about learning on their own and taking the small things that we give them, but going a lot farther with them. And then we are looking for people who have a good why, who have a reason why they want to build this business on the side. So far, it's been people who want to leave their jobs, and that's a great why, because they're motivated to build their business so they do have that residual income and they can quit their jobs. And so I'm sure there'll be a lot more whys that we come across as we continue to build our business, but those have been like the major ones that we've noticed in every single one of our partners that are go nows. They have a strong reason why they want to build this business. They're not just doing it just because it's fun and just because they could use an extra $300 a month. They're doing it because they want to replace their income. And so that's kind of what we've been looking for now when we're looking to partner with people. And, yeah, just being a lot more selective now. My parents actually partnered with someone early on in the business because they were just looking for someone. I feel like we all go through that season where we're just like, anyone, any two people, that's all we need. And they ended up partnering with someone who now we found out the only reason they wanted to start the business because they wanted the product. They did not have any desire to build a business, to build a residual income. They just wanted the product at wholesale. And they're really struggling now with that partner. And it's like, oh, I'm like looking back, I'm so grateful that we didn't have that and that we're a lot more selective now in who we partner with, because we're not going to grow if our team isn't growing with us. And that leverage is lost if you're the only one that's trying to build something instead of an entire team that's trying to build something. It just happens a lot faster.
That's so good. That is so good. So when you first started then, did you just start showing the business plan with a flip chart? Did you use the video? How's kind of been your mode of sharing the business?
Well, thankfully, how we shared the business with my parents was my mom was actually here in the house when we signed up our business. And that was a total crazy thing. We didn't even know that was going to happen. And now looking back, that was totally of the Lord that she was in the house. And so she saw in us signing up, she saw this was a legitimate business. And she was on fire the moment she saw us sign up. We had to convince my dad, which that's okay. It only took a couple weeks. And so we really didn't have to share with them, actually. Thankfully, they are smart, very smart business. My dad has been an entrepreneur his entire life and started many, many businesses. So he saw immediately how different this was from traditional business. Troy and Amy Poinbuff, we actually met at a Starbucks, and I had the flip chart, but I didn't use it. Looking back, I should have used it because I was kind of all over the place. And that was another thing that we're realizing, too, is that you can't say the right thing to the wrong person and the wrong thing to the right person. We just stumbled through showing the plan to several people, and some of them wanted to know more, wanted to evaluate more, and those were the ones that ended up partnering. And so, we actually we showed the plan last night to some of our friends. That was a chaotic situation at a Mexican restaurant that we will never do again. Learning, the best places to show the plan. Mexican restaurants, not a good place. But when showing it to them, we could sense almost immediately that they had all these walls up. And as you show the plan more and more, you'll start to see and pick up different vibes from people. And you'll see oh, their walls are up. Oh, they aren't interested. Oh, they have this, and this reason. And it's okay, I'm not going to, because we don't want to ever pressure anyone into this. We want them to want to do it. Because, again, we don't want to carry people. We want to lead people in their business. And so last night was another example of just okay, we shared the plan, but they just were not interested at all. And it's okay, we're just going to step back from this. But now, thankfully, there's so many resources to show you how to share the plan a lot more effectively. When we did the Leadership Academy with Stacy, or even the YouTube video that Colton did of showing how to show the plan with the flip chart, that has just been so key. And I've done that several times with different people now by, writing the magic marker on it and being able to show them how they fit inside the plan. And so that's the main way I like to share it. My parents like to share it with the PowerPoint because they like all the notes that are on it. And so I like that there's several ways you can do it.
That's really good.
I choose the flip chart.
Yeah, that's really good. And I love how you said that too, Kelly, that really, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. And so it truly is, you never know when you sit across the table from somebody. It's just planting seeds. And then when those seeds fall on the right soil, they're going to grow. And they're going to grow because of certain things, too, like, you know, something I noticed from your story that Colton did very well is he followed up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he followed up with you to help answer questions and to keep you in the loop until, you know, either you see the light or you're like, this is not for me, but either way, at least give you the exposure so that you had enough information to make the decision.
Yep.
So that is so good. That is really great. Kelley, you have such an incredible story. And I'm sure that there's individuals here on the call that have questions. So what I want to do is I'm going to open it up to a question. And if you have a question, we're going to try this with this technology, but hit *6, and it should alert me that you have a question for Kelley. And if we don't have any, then we'll just end the recording. But just wanted to give you guys time to answer questions if anybody has a question for Kelley. Okay, so we pick this person. Okay, and I think, is this Jessica?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So, Jessica, do you want to ask your question?
Yes. Kelley, hi, how are you? I wanted to ask you, like, if you could, excuse me, give me some examples of, like, how you approach your prospects. I'm sure you're using your warm leads, people you already know, but I just was wondering if you could tell me, like, people that you don't know or just some examples that you have approached people and talked to them about your business, because I don't know if because I'm new to the business, so sometimes I feel like, you know, I kind of feel reluctant, but I just do it anyway, because I do struggle sometimes with that same voices in my head, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to go show the plan. You know, they don't, and then when I get there, I just do it, you know, and I'm just going to talk to them about this, but I have all these struggles too in my head, but I'm still doing it, even though sometimes I'm laying here going, I can't move, but I text someone, can I talk to you about something? And so, like, and people, they don't see the behind scenes, me going,
yes,
you know, but how is it that because I'm like, at least I'm still doing something, but is it, like, how do you approach people or talk to people to be, you know, proud of what you're doing? Because we see it, but sometimes people are like, oh, are you doing network marketing? Oh, I've heard something, like, you know, so can you give me some examples like that? Okay.
I'm still definitely in your boat. Like, I'm still definitely like, oh my gosh. I want to say it was Thursday. So I'm a facility admin and event manager at our church, and so I have to, like, sign a lot of papers that people bring in to me. And so on Thursday, actually, our gas guy came in. Every week I have to sign his little paper. And so he came in and he started talking, and he actually sat down this time, and I was like, okay, this is different. He, like, sat down and started talking to me, and I'm just like, okay. And then he started mentioning different things, and like Brandy says, like, my pit started sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have to say something about my business. Like, he's going to think I'm crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so, like, I waited and waited and waited, and finally he stood up to leave. And I was like, okay, wait, I have a question for you. And he was like, what? And I was like, I don't know how to ask. I'm sure. And he was like, well, it's okay. You can ask me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just look like the most immature person ever. Like, but I was like, have you ever thought about a business opportunity? My husband and I started a business, an online franchise recently, and you just have the personality that I could see could go really far with it. Would you be interested in learning more? And he was like, sure. And I was like, oh my God, he just said sure. Like, okay. And so I, like, gave him my business card and told him that the UBP was that night, and then I asked for his number to follow up with him to see if he could make it. And he ended up not being able to make it, but I'll see him next week when I have to sign that paper again. And so I'm going to follow up with him then to see if I can actually set an appointment to show him the plan one-on-one. But yeah, so that was like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if this is for you, if not, like, you know, just trying to kind of keep it lighthearted, but I was freaking out on the inside. But like, as you do it more, I'm noticing, like, it's actually a lot easier and less scary to talk to people you don't know. My husband and I were talking about that last night because we showed the plan to two of our, like, very close friends. And we knew when we left Miami we had to show it to them just because it would kill us if in the end they come to us and say, why didn't you tell us about this? And so we're like, okay, like we have to show them this. And so we ended up going and showing them, and they were completely not interested, very respectful about it, and they had really good reasons why this is not for them. And I was like, okay, at least we know now, and we can keep planting seeds, and just they can see our business grow, or they can support us by being a customer. But that was really hard for me just because I know them personally. Troy and Amy Pointwith, who are they're our business partners, we actually didn't know them very well. I had seen them around the church a lot. And Matt and I had been praying, like, okay, Lord, like, who should we talk to about this? We didn't want to just pick anyone. We wanted, it to be people that, again, that are go-nows, that have a good reason. And Troy does schoolwork full-time, and he sits up in our cafe and does school all the time. And every time I passed by him, I was like, I need to talk to him. And this went on for like 2 weeks. And I was like, crap, I really we just need to sit down with them and show them the plan and see what they think. And it was actually a lot less scary because it really didn't matter to us if they said yes or no, because we didn't have that personal relationship with them. So if they said no, it's like, oh, okay, that's okay. So that's something that we've found is okay, strangers, we really don't care as much if they say yes or no. If they say yes, great. If they say no, it's not going to hurt our feelings. Whereas our friends, our family, that's a lot harder for us. And that's something that we're having to overcome now that we've been successful. We're actually kind of starting to approach our closer friends and family again, because we kind of approached them at the beginning, but they were like, we'll see how you do. And so now we're actually following up with a lot of those and being like, okay, we are successful now. We do see this working. We would like to actually sit down and share with you again if you're interested. And so that's kind of been our process of through this one time, 4 or 5 months ago, to the cycle again with all those who said that they wanted to see if we were successful. And so we're going to go back through them again and kind of show them, hey, we are successful. Hey, this is working. Are you interested? And then keep going from there.
That is so good. That is very good. Okay, so I'll mute Jessica, and then is there anybody else that has a question? If you do, push *6. That's a great question, by the way, Jessica. Okay, here's Holly. Holly, you should be unmuted now.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, Kelley, how are you?
Hey, Holly, doing well.
Good,
I know
good.
You.
Yes, I know. I saw you at Tom and Brandy's. That was an awesome meeting.
Yep.
It was fun to talk. Hey, I just had a question. I guess one thing that, I know about the 22-minute video. Are there any other videos that you have in mind that you might send out as follow-ups? Because I know that's kind of a powerful way, but I'm just I don't know. There's so many. Have you found any other ones that are good?
Actually, I have a whole section of likes on my YouTube of different ones that I send to different people depending on what they're looking for. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I really like sending out the shop portal tutorial that Nicole, I can't remember her last name, she did, but it kind of goes through how to use shop.com as a customer and how they can save money.
Oh, that would be good.
That's a really good one. She kind of messes up a couple times, but then she fixes it and it's okay. So, but that's one that I've sent out. I think it's 30 minutes or so. But yeah, I've sent that one out to several people just to say, hey, this is how, if you choose to, start your business, or if you just choose to be a customer, here's how you can save money. So that's one that I've sent out quite a few times. Anything by Ryan Stack. I love Ryan Stack. I love that his videos are short, and so you can kind of find specific things if people have certain questions. One of the prospects that we're working with right now, she was formerly in an MLM, and she's like, well, how is the pay structure different? And it's okay, well, we can say all day long how it's different, but actually having someone show you. He has a really good, I think it's a 10 or 14-minute video, and he draws it out on a whiteboard, how MLM actually pays out and how much work you have to do to earn $3,000 a month. and then like how much work you have to do with us to do $3,000 a month. And so that's a really good one. I think he did it like last April, I want to say, and so you can just go to his YouTube, and I think it's MLM versus Market America Pay or something like that. But yeah, anything by Ryan Stack, because he does a lot of really short ones that are like to certain things that compare Market America to something else, or you know, show how we're not like anything else. Other than that, if they're, I know sometimes the 22-minute video is very long. And so if I have people who I know like they're not going to listen to a 22-minute video, I'll send like the 5-minute video, or even there's even a 12-minute video that Ryan Stack did that doesn't go through all the different things. It just goes through like more broad overview. And so I'll send that one. I'm trying to think of something else. I mean, there really is just so many you can send people, and it's just knowing like, okay, like what questions are they asking, and how, if I don't know the answer, how can I find the answer for them? And those are the key areas that I look for, as well as power profiles. I love Gary Rogers' power profile. I've sent it to probably 7 people, just because his heart, you can see that his heart is for his family. I have several dads right now and moms and dads that were kind of prospecting and letting them date thing for a little bit, and I just love that he pulls on that aspect of like Market America and how it was able to save his family, truly, save his daughter, because he had this residual income coming in. And so, yeah, power profile, Gary Rogers is great. I've sent out David and Stacy's power profile. I've sent out Brandy and Tom's. I've sent out Colton's. It's hard to like say like just one cookie cutter like fit for all, you know. But that's why I watch like everything I can on YouTube, anything Market America related. That way, if something comes up, I can be like, oh, I remember a video about this. Because 9 times out of 10, people believe the video more than you. I'm starting to find. And it's like I can say the same thing the video did, but like for some reason that video, they're like, oh, I get it. And so just trying to have different ones in my tool belt for those situations. And I don't have to send them right away, but even like a few days later after I've talked to someone, it's like, oh, hey, I just found this video. You know, you don't have to be completely, you know, truthful with them. It's like, hey, I just found this video and thought of you. And you can just flip it to them, and they'll never have to know that you know, were thinking about this when you were having the conversation with them 2 days ago.
Or just leave out the jest and just do the found this video and I thought of you.
This video.
in the timeline of events.
That is
awesome.
so good. It's almost
that is
like
so
a
good.
doctor prescribing a medication or something, you know, based on what that patient needs.
So
that is so good, Kelly. So what you've done then, let me just clarify so I know, what you've done is you've gone and liked them on YouTube. Have you put them in a playlist so that you find them easily, or is that what you've done?
Yeah, I honestly, all my likes are Market America stuff, and so that's just kind of where it all is in my likes. I should probably go through and actually make playlists for different things, but right now I've just kind of kept them all as my likes. That way I can go through and just see from there. But yeah, you can easily make playlists from YouTube from your likes, and you can do playlists for different things as well. I'm just not that organized yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite that organized.
I like how you said that. Not yet. That's really good.
Yep, not yet. No, I'm going to get there. I'm going to be very organized someday, but right now I'm working on it.
Love it. That's so good. That's so good. Well, thank you, Holly. And I have Paul up next, so I'm going to click Paul. Okay, Paul, I think you're live.
Awesome. Hey, Kelly.
Hey,
I wanted to ask, for the Basics 5, how did you focus on selling one new product to a new customer every week?
Okay, yeah, definitely. That was probably the hardest thing for me. When we did the boot camp with Brandy back in the fall, she had us write down, like, our biggest weakness with the company, or, like, with the Basic 5, and she was like, this is going to become your strength. And I was like, whatever, Brandy. Like, I'll write it down on your paper and throw it in the trash, but that's not going to happen. But I did the motions, and the actions followed, which is awesome. Like, that's something that you have to do so often. But what I had actually heard from David and Deanna Black, they told me that because it's hard to share about a product that someone's never tried. And so what I started doing was I knew certain people that I worked with who took vitamins. And I was like, okay, like, I'm just going to take 3 samples to them and say, hey, my husband and I just started a new company, and we're trying out these products, and we really like them. And I know you take vitamins, and I was just wondering if you'd try them for us and tell us what you think. And so I would give them the 3 sample packets, and then I would follow up with them 3 days later and ask them about it. And I got several customers that way at the beginning. And that's actually what I've been kind of doing since. I'll keep finding new people, and I'll just be like, okay, like, here, try these, these 3 packets, and they've really helped my husband and I, and I'll tell them, like, this is the successes that we've had, and then the success stories of, like, my parents had and different things. And the easiest product for me to sell. We're just now starting to do more events. When we first got started, I didn't really know anyone in our area, so I didn't really feel bold enough to do events. Now that we have partners, we're actually doing events. Like, we have a skincare event coming up this week. We have a wellness coming up the following week, and then a motives event coming up the week after that. And we've done several wellness events, and I'm noticing that that's the easiest way to get customers. It's just invite them to a wellness, and then they can try the product there. They can get excited because they'll see other people purchasing, and then they want to purchase. And then just following up with them, because once they're on the product, it's so easy to just keep them by following up with them and asking them their story, asking them how they're liking it. It's harder to get new customers. And so that's just kind of what we've done, just handing out samples and then inviting people to events to be exposed to the products in a group setting.
That is so good. And we do have one, a wellness event coming up next week. Was Amy the one that helped you on your very first one, Kelley?
Yes. Yes, she did. She was awesome.
Yeah, she's actually going to be the one doing it at Holly's house for us, and so.
Oh, good. She is great. Like, learned so much from her.
Yes. So I'm excited. Great question, Paul. Thank you so much. And I'm going to move on to Stephanie. And Stephanie, you're unmuted. Oh, are you there, Steph?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I guess my question is, how do you? I've have customers that I've signed up, but not really. Only maybe 1 or 2 of them are buying stuff, and I'm just curious of how to motivate them to buy stuff. I've gave some of them, like this one girl at my job. I gave her the receptionist. She has a lot of problems, like medically, and I gave her like 4 of the packets. I guess the daily essentials, and she loved it, and she said, I signed up as a customer, but she still hasn't purchased anything yet, and that was like about a week or so ago.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to encourage my customer. The first time
that they make a purchase, I do it for them. I'm actually at their desk with them, and I log them into shop.com. I add everything to their cart, and they basically just put in their credit card. That way I know for sure that they have purchased the product and it's coming to them. And I've actually done that probably the first 2 or 3 times with my customers, and now I'm going back and showing them, hey, you can do this on your own. But like initially because I noticed the same thing too. Like, I would sign all these people up as preferred customers, and then nothing ever happened. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like actually sit down with them and be like, hey, like, do you want me to help you make your purchase? I can add everything to your cart, and I can show you how, like, where to find all the products. So I think it's also overwhelming if they go on shop.com. They're just like, what in the world? Like, there's so many things. And so, we go on shop.com, we get them signed in. I show them like, oh, hey, you're signed in. It says your name here. I'll show them where their cashback comes in so I can say, hey, like, you'll notice your cashback it'll come in a couple days after you make your purchase. And then I'll type in if they're getting the daily essential pack. I'll show them how to find the daily essentials. and then I'll add it to their cart and then make that purchase for them. Or if we're not near on my phone, I'll pull up my shop mobile, I'll have them log in, and then I'll make the purchase on my phone for them just right there.
Okay. That's good.
That is perfect,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
What great advice. That is so good. That is so good. Thank you, Stephanie. That was a really great question.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Do we have anybody else with any questions? There's nobody else in the queue, but I just want to give you a second. If anybody else has a question for Kelly. It looks like we are great. Kelly, I'm just so honored to have you on the phone and to be able to work with you. You're doing such a great job and leading so well. And it's obvious that everything that you're talking about, you're doing. And this is the doing business. That's what you get paid for, is doing, not knowing, but doing. And you are doing it. And you are having incredible results by doing it. And so you have reached executive coordinator in a very fast period of time. And it's just going to go faster the next time. And so I just want to congratulate.
Yep, we're so excited.
Yay. Congratulations. And again, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And on this call. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for the honor of letting me share. I love being able to share with others and just share like what we've done, like from experience, because I know that was something I was looking for when I first started, because Kendra, again, she had just started, so she didn't have any success. And so I gleaned from other people who were successful. And so thank you that I now have the honor to do that for others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you have a blessed day. Tell Matt hi for us, and thank you again for your time.
You're welcome. Y'all too.
Thank you.